Welcome back. Let's talk about Joe Lycett. Joe Lycett has been demanding that David Beckham pulls out of his multi-million-pound deal to promote Qatar because former gay icon David Beckham is supposed to stick up for gay rights, but doesn't seem to stick up for them when Qatar puts millions of pounds in his pockets to basically sports wash their reputation as a country without human rights, where homosexuality is illegal, where women who get raped get sent to jail for being unfaithful to their husband, and where 6,500 foreign migrant workers died in appalling conditions building those gleaming stadiums that we're looking at right now that are staging the World Cup. So Joe said if David Beckham doesn't pull out of this deal, yesterday was the witching hour, he said, I will shred £10,000. He said if he pulls out of the deal, he'll give that £10,000 to charity, but if he doesn't, he's just going to throw it in the shredder and wreck it. Well, that moment came yesterday. Let's watch it. So here's Joe. I lent him my top up there. That's my top he's wearing there. I hope you like it. He's got 10,000 quid there. There he goes. And in he goes into the shredder and out the other side. You see that? So there it goes. And now take a bow, Joe. Thank you very much. So a lot of people were furious about that because they said, look, you make a good point about David Beckham, but for God's sake, £10,000, that could do a lot of good for a lot of good causes. Don't shred it. But he went ahead and did it. And guess what? It now turns out it wasn't real money. Let's talk to comedian Luke Stevens. Hi, Luke.
Hi, Kevin. How you doing?
I'm all right. What did you make of all of this? I mean, I'm not against the stance that Joe Lycett has taken. Turns out he didn't shred real money. It's pretend money. That's good, because it would have been criminal to just get rid of 10 grand when it could have done so much good for so many worthy causes. And to be fair, he is going to give 10 grand to charity now, to the LGBTQ causes. But in the end, wasn't this just a load of virtue signalling publicity for the TV comedian Joe Lycett?
I disagree, to be honest. I quite like Joe Lycett. I think he's a very talented, very funny comedian. I think from the off, Joe Lycett knows that there was no way he was going to get a response from David Beckham and he was going to pull out of his deal with Qatar. He knew that wasn't going to happen. What Joe Lycett was doing was, you know, as a gay man, he was highlighting the issues of the terrible atrocities that happen to gay people in Qatar. I know we're all still focusing on that, but it's right, it shouldn't be forgotten, because there is a danger when this World Cup starts. Like, England won 6-2 today, and it was amazing. And if we continue to progress through this tournament, people will forget about the atrocities in Qatar. People forget about the 6,000 migrant workers. Like, the same thing with the Beijing Olympics. It was so awful that they had it. England, I mean, Great Britain won like 12 gold medals since Beijing suddenly became the brilliant Olympics. And there's a danger of this happening with Qatar. And Joe Lycett knew that, and for as much as FIFA and England football teams and like Wales, Belgium, Denmark, Germany, the Netherlands and Switzerland all said before this tournament, we'll be wearing the One Love armband, and they all backed out of it today. It was all nonsense. So I think Joe Lycett was absolutely right to do what he did. He got people talking about the rights, talking about these issues, and I think it was good.
Yeah, I sort of sympathise with you. You know, I don't think there's any harm in highlighting the problems with Qatar, because they deserve to be highlighted, and the hypocrisy of David Beckham also deserved to be underlined. So in that respect, good luck to Joe Lycett. It's just probably I'm just sick of all the virtue signalling that's going on around this tournament. I don't know if you watched last night's saga, but, you know, Gary Lineker, Alan Shearer, Alex Scott falling over themselves to tell us how tortured they are about the human rights record in Qatar. Not tortured enough not to go there and make a lot of money out of this World Cup.
I know, I don't know what the right answer is. Do you know what I mean? Because, I mean, Gary Neville's out there as well, but it's not... This World Cup has been given to them by FIFA. It's not their fault that this is happening. So I don't know what they're supposed to do. Should they just... I mean, BBC are going to cover this. ITV are going to cover this. If they can go there and highlight the atrocities. I mean, there is an argument they should donate their fee I wouldn't argue with that. I mean, I think Gary Lineker's the highest paid presenter on BBC, so he could absolutely do that. But I do think there's another. We do like to attack footballers for earning money and doing well, and I think this is another opportunity of that. I mean, F1 had the Grand Prix in Abu Dhabi at the weekend, and
yeah, exactly. There are other events as well. Like exactly, and if we keep winning 6-2, trust me, all of these issues about Qatar will take a back seat. So I say bring on the football. I mean, I'm all for criticising Qatar, but not that much. Thanks, Luke. Great to talk to you. Luke Stevens there. I'm going to be on the Jeremy